Good evening, and welcome to Michiana Paranormal Investigations. My name is Jeff Price. Tonight, we are coming to you from the Fox Hollow Farms, located in Carmel, Indiana. We're here to do an investigation on the bloody and tragic past of this location. We're going to be doing several interviews with the clients. We have multiple cameras set up, and we hope to have a great investigation tonight, so make sure you stay tuned.
Fox Hollow Farms is an 18-acre estate that boasts luxuries like a barn complete with horses, a Kohler Centennial bathroom with 24-karat gold fixtures, an indoor pool in the basement, and a bar complete with a pool table. This house once belonged to the infamous Herb Baumeister, a serial killer whose reign stretched decades. It is said that Herb would go to bars in the Indiana-Ohio area and pick up young, unattached men and bring them back to his home for a quiet evening. At the end of the evening, the young men would end up in the woods, carelessly thrown wherever Herb felt compelled to drop their bodies. Over 5,000 bone fragments have been found on the property, scattered through the woods, belonging to a minimum of 11 different people, according to the police. Many of these men are still unidentified. Over 100 people fitting the description of Herb's victims were reported missing in his wake. It wasn't until Herb's children stumbled upon an old skeleton that he began to hide the bones in a burn pile in the backyard. Shortly after attracting police attention, he fled to Canada but was never charged with any of the murders, as he is rumored to have committed suicide in 1996. Herb's family knew nothing of his habits and were devastated to learn the truth. Tonight, the Michiana Paranormal Investigators are going to conduct an in-depth investigation of 3 of the primary areas of activity on the property. We will begin with the lure, the indoor pool downstairs, move outside to the woods where the bodies were left and the bones were found, and end in the apartment upstairs, which is said to have the most activity. Stay tuned to see what we find.
We at Michiana Paranormal are very excited to be here at Fox Hollow, and we're very excited that our gracious host here has allowed us to investigate the house here tonight. So let's start off the tour down this way.
Is that everyone? We only use the pool in the winter. You have to heat it, and it's about $800 a month to heat it. And really, nobody has any interest in using it in the summer for some reason. But so everything's off. The pump, the heater, everything's off, so it'll be quiet. The pump room is down there on the left. If you read any of the background, the pool was kind of a lure to get the guys to come up. Herb would say, you want to come up and go for a swim in an indoor pool. And apparently must be a novelty. I'm kind of used to it now, but apparently not everyone has a pool in the indoors. But so they would come up, and you got to remember, everybody came up willingly. He didn't bash people over the head and drag them up here. These guys all came willingly. So the theory kind of goes that he probably killed him in the pool. There's also some evidence. One guy got away, a guy named Mark Goodyear, and he's the one that really led the police here. And he gave more of an insight as to what happened when they were here. His story with more of the murders actually happened in the room next door. But either place, either one of the places probably is. That's the pump room down there. You're welcome to go down. Open it up if you want. It's not a very big room. But one little story. A guy at work mentioned that he moved from the West Coast, and he said, I heard you have a house with spirits. And I said, well, that's what they tell me. He said, I've seen them and heard them since I was 2, and I would like to come up. Pretty well documented. But he told me 6 or 7 things that, if you really didn't know the story, were pretty remarkable. Where stuff actually happened.
just for temporary.
This room here is the mechanical room.
I imagine if you close that door, it would be very difficult to hear. You know what I mean? If someone was.
Now, watching some of the shows, I don't know how verified with him, he said that one of the hoses in here was an original.
I've heard
Somebody
that.
bought the house. I don't know if it's that one behind you, or if it's, I don't know if it was a garden hose or if it was.
This one has more energy attached to it than this one, but yeah. These just don't seem to have. Interesting. To me, how would you be able to strangle someone with a... But it is pretty hard. They're harder than I thought it was going to. I can see how it happened. Wow. This thing is like... Ooh, okay. So, when I have this side of my body tingling, that's the entity that has a crust. I know. Okay. Wow. I can't tell if it's him or not, but there's obviously somebody's following us around. It's almost like I'm being told this is the hose or something.
So one thing in the basement here is this door to the pump room, but if you open it just slightly and let go, it opens up. But it's on, I think it slants at the door frame, so I don't think it's anything paranormal. But
No, I freaked out the first time I tried to close it because I thought something was trying to open it back up again. Oh.
Oh. Step down. Step down. Definitely warmer in here. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of creepy. Right?
I don't want to be on there. I don't know why, but I don't want to be on that side.
So Jeff, Liz, Rob, and Sarah, we are in the pump room in the basement of the Fox Hollow Mansion, doing an EVP session. Is there anyone in here that would like to communicate with us, say something? Again, we know there's been a lot of people that have come through here, various television shows, movies, paranormal groups, but we're not the other people. We're a new group, and we're definitely interested in hearing what you have to tell us. There's a few recorders in here. The recorders are the little black boxes with the red lights on them. If you go close to one of those and make a noise, we will be able to hear it later on.
Dog. Whining.
Okay. Were you one of Herb's victims?
So the blue lights mean...
That's the electromagnetic field.
It's weird that the dog is moaning at the same time.
Can you try to make those blue lights come on a little bit longer if you get close to it? The closer you get to it, the more they stay on.
Can you drop the temperature down? Drop it down to 51.
Is it really only saying it's 52 in here?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it.
I feel like it's warmer too.
Mm-hmm.
Drop it down to 51.
So again, were you one of Herb's victims? If you were, can you light up those blue lights like you did a second ago?
Can you make a noise? Can you make a tapping noise on something? Or tap one of us on the shoulder? Do you have a message that you want to pass on? Do you have a family member that you want to give a message to? We're here to communicate with you tonight. If you could please step forward and give us a sign that you're here. We're not here to harm you in any way, and we are not asking you to leave unless you want to go. Can you tell us your name? Did Herb pick you up from a bar in Indianapolis and drive you here?
You want to suffocate me? Apparently I was the type of person you were looking for. I'm not afraid of you, so...
You need to step forward if you have something to tell us, and step forward if you're here. You need to give us a sign by knocking, turning some more of these lights on in this gray box with the green light.
You know, when you watch the videos of this place, it's sounds like I get that heavy feeling, or the feeling like you're being choked or you can't breathe, but...
Are you feeling any of that?
I mean, the air's a little heavy, but... I mean...
Ain't
this is a
heavier
room-
that way.
I mean, this is a room that has no, like, doors, or I don't know where the crawl space goes to, but you're not getting the air moving in here, so... Plus you have a furnace, so there's CO2 or carbon monoxide shooting off that thing, you never know.
Yeah, it's a water heater, but it's actually cold.
Is it?
So I don't think it's been on in a while, because it is actually pretty cold.
Why don't, when we wrap up in here, let's go out to the pool area and do something out there.
Okay.
And then we can go over to that other room. I can't be here. I'll be in the room. I don't want to be in that corner at all. Anywhere you go right now. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the matter?
This is freaking him out.
What?
Over here is freaking him out. Yeah. Herb, are you down here with us? Herb, are you down here? Are you in the pool room with us tonight? Would you like to hang out down here? Well, if it's not her, is it one of his victims? you still here? Are you trapped here?
Now when I show you this, one thing that is different, the woods came to within about 5 or 6 feet of the patio. So there were a lot more woods between this area where the skeleton was found. That tree right there, the one that's it's a dead ash bore's got it. Just to the right of it was where they found the skeleton. So that's how close he was putting him to the house. But there was a lot more woods between the house and that area. After his son found that skeleton, the theory kind of goes that he now realizes someone has seen something, so he went through the woods, picked up the bones that were laying on the ground, and started what they termed a burn pile. And that was just behind that tree, and this is where he would break them up and try to make them disappear. When the police first got here, they spent about a week in that area right there, and most of the fragments they found were less than an inch. They did find some teeth back there. And as they were packing up after being here a week, 2 kids from the farm next door came over and said, "What are you looking for?" And the police said, "Well, this is a crime scene. We're looking for human remains." And they said, "Like bones?" And they said, "Well, all the bones are over in the creek."
Maybe you found some stuff in the creek?
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Let me try EVP session right here.
Okay.
Well, Rick, this is, I guess, the creek where the children found the bones.
No way. Huh. If there's anybody here, could you speak into the microphone or give us a sign? If you died here? Is it right down in there? I don't see any water.
Oh, it's
It's pretty dry up.
I'm going to set this photo.
Oh, that's a good idea. No forgetty.
Yeah.
Careful. As I watch you fall.
Don't know.
Did you say Liz and them were out here? Or did I imagine that?
I'm not sure where they went.
Oh, okay. All right. How far are we going in?
Let's do a quick EVP session here,
Oh,
since
okay.
and then we can chill further on back.
All right. We open ourselves up to you. I open myself up to you. You can use my energy if you would like. Could you make a noise in the woods or a rap tap on a tree? If you just touched my coat, my sleeve, could you do that again or touch someone else? Are you sure someone passed here?
If I get it from the history, it was.
I think that the general consensus is that they were killed in the house, but they were brought out here.
Right, right.
But apparently, the creek that rolls right through here, they found a lot of bones.
They found more of the bones in the creek than they did, like in the burn pile.
I just had an impression of someone saying that they didn't pass here. Rob,
Yes, sir.
the numbers on that?
What the?
What does that
I
do?
heard that.
Is that the...
Okay, the numbers is the ambient temperature, okay? The red light's blinking on top, meaning that it's a drastic change in a quick time. The blue lights are the EMF meter.
Okay. I'm
Why
sorry,
it's
I didn't catch the numbers. What are those?
just the ambient temperature. But if there's an increase or a decrease, you've seen the red lights were flashing.
Uh-huh.
See, if I hold my finger over where it reads the temperature and it goes up or down fast, it'll blink.
I see.
Now the blue lights are the EMF, and it blinks, it flashes, or will stay on steady depending on how much
Strength.
Yeah, and I don't know why it's getting a reading out here.
Well, because of the saturation, I would think. Of the ground, or
I know,
is it still doing it?
yeah.
There shouldn't be any reason for that. There's no power line.
Yeah, I know, I mean, yeah, a few houses around, but nothing that's...
I mean, there shouldn't be anything up here.
Keep your eyes peeled. I just saw a red light. Like
On the left side
a
over
few
here?
feet away from us. Yeah, on the left side.
Well, this is where the person in the red shirt has been seen, down this little path here, right? Two things have really happened to cause me to believe stuff goes on here, other than what other people have captured, is that when we were here about a year, and I was on the ladder painting, and my wife Vicky was down low painting, and she hollered up to me and said, "There's a man in the woods in a red shirt." And if I don't keep the gate closed, we're a pretty prominent attraction, I guess. People will come down the drive, and we also have the Monon Trail over there. So I thought it was another looky-loo, they call him. And I got down off the ladder and I said, "Well, where is he?" And she said, "Well, he's gone." I said, "Well, where did he go?" She said, "Well, I didn't tell you, but that's the second time I've seen it." And I said, "Saw what?" And she pointed to these three trees over here. This group, closer to the green area of the woods. Yeah, and said there was a guy walking away. He had what she termed a Marine-style crew haircut, red T-shirt, but he had no legs. He was sort of see-through from the legs down. And I kind of blew it off, made a joke. She never told me anything like that before, but she had said she had seen it twice. Well, some more time went by. That was like August. A paranormal researcher called me. I'm sorry. We got on the internet and I found a paranormal group had come out here a year before we moved in, and I called the guy and I said, "Did you find anything while you were here?" And he said, "Well, yeah, that's one of the most haunted houses in Indiana." And I said, "What are you talking about?" He says, "Well, haven't you seen anything?" And I said, "Well, I haven't." I said, "My wife saw something." And he said, "Let me tell you what she saw and where she saw it." And this is on the telephone. He said, "You look out your master bathroom window," which is sort of on the side of the house there. He said, "There's a group of 3 trees. She saw a guy in a red shirt with no legs."
Well, let's just ask for him.
So.
See. Yeah. The young man in the red T-shirt. We asked that you could please come forward, and it'd be really cool if you could show yourself. In addition to that, if you need help crossing over and you're trapped here, we would like to help you. But we need to know that you hear us or are present. Did anybody ever say the name of that red T-shirt guy?
I don't think so.
I don't know if he has a name.
I have like a Brian or a Ryan in my head. I just want to say that. If your name is Brian or Ryan, could you please come forward, make a sound, touch a tree, touch one of us, the equipment. I'm hearing some cursing. So I'll say, frickin' bastard tricked me. If that's you saying that in my head, would you please make it evident to everyone? Give us a sign. Now, there's no mosquitoes out there. I would hope not in this cold. Did you just... It's like you jabbed a needle in my leg. Someone did. If you did that, could you do it to somebody else? Please? It's really not cool that you did that. We're friends here. And I don't feel his energy like I did either, walking up here. I don't know if they want to be filmed or not, or you would think if they wanted help, they would.
What?
I heard that. Something running through the woods. You said you heard it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be an animal. Yeah.
You guys heard somebody?
Something ran or was moving quickly through the woods behind us.
Really? Like footsteps? Big ass loud noise, but this looked like for a minute. Ask them. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's see if they can.
If that was you out here making that noise through the woods, can you do it again? Closer to us?
Did you get anything out here?
I heard some rustling in the woods, but I didn't think of an animal.
Yeah, they've since then replaced the door handle. But let's see how it would go. It'd be like that. Now, if you notice, do you notice the door knock when this happens? If I push it open lightly, it doesn't knock. If I use a little blunt force, if I kind of give it a hit, maybe not a punch, but it knocks. If I push it open fast, but smooth, like wind would do, there's no knock. So about same force. So like a kick would, you always hear the door knock once. So that was weird because I could never get that to replicate without pushing it hard, like a hit, like that. This is a very, very heavy door. These are all separate panels. And there's no way to get this to freeze in a certain, can't get stuck in it. Well anyway, back to the door getting kicked open. It could pushed open much faster than that, I just don't want to hit the wall. But it would give a solid knock when it would fly open. So I thought, okay, someone's playing a prank on me to get out here. If you guys look during the day, this is about a 1.5-story drop. We're talking broken ankles or legs if you try to jump off to play a prank. There's no string anywhere or whatever. Well, I counted about 35 times. This is what I heard. It was always 7 knocks. They were very long pauses. It wasn't a friendly, hey, can I borrow some milk or sugar for a recipe or something like that. Very long knocks. So when I'm doing this, I want you to put your hand at some different panels, and I want you to tell me what you feel.
Okay.
All these panels are separate. You'll actually feel the difference between these. I'm going to do 7 knocks here. You feel that?
Yeah.
So you could feel which one was being knocked. It wasn't I was knocking with my
Right.
very unique sound.
Oh. This is right here. Or more to the right.
Oh, that wasn't open before.
Was or wasn't?
It wasn't. Well, I mean, like when we were up here before.
Yeah.
Not when we just walked in.
Alright, I'm gonna kill this light in 3, 2, 1. Oh,
That's funny.
Turn the light back on.
Rob, stop touching my mic.
That's what we call a clue.
It can't be giving off that much
That's
energy
crazy.
that far away. What the?
Great. Give me the EMF.
This one?
Yeah.
It's like one of those halogen lights, isn't it?
Oh, see, there's something up here because it goes from point 3,
Okay,
point
now.
3.1, 3.2, 3.6, 4.1,
Okay.
4.8,
Now,
5.3.
now turn the lamp off and see what that does.
Can't see it with the lamp off.
Just shush. Huh. Wow.
1 point. I mean, we're.
It's a lamp.
Interesting.
What? I don't know if it's the lamp or if it's the wiring in here. So when you turn it on, it's
Right,
drawing
it's
something,
drawing.
and then.
But still.
Isn't
Yeah, but
the
the
current
thing of it is
shouldn't-
this is
current
actually
should
really
still be
far.
going through
This
the
is
wires.
actually really far away.
Whether or not something's taking from it.
See, the higher I go, the higher it goes. Here's how we're at.
Okay.
The lower.
Just hang it up there.
Yeah.
I think it's the lamp.
This is great footage. Glad you recorded it.
So we leave the lamp off. So yeah, we left the lamp off.
Yeah.
Or no?
Case
yeah.
closed. We solved the mystery.
It's the lamp. The lamp of
That's what was knocking on the door.
The lamp of Fox
Yeah.
Hollow.
Yeah.
It's the lamp that's ripping the doors open and whatnot.
Man, so you
Really
we
bright.
started
Shut
reading that when you first walked in the door.
Yeah. Like that was from really far away.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm seeing my quarter on the ground here.
Okay, if anybody's up here, has anything they want to say, wants to communicate, got a couple of ways you can do that. Got a black box on the floor, maybe another one in here somewhere. It's got a red light on it. You can walk up to that, talk to it. Or there's an orange box on the floor. You can make the blue lights light up like the lamp did. I'm sure you saw that if you're here. Or we've got some flashlights. Get close to the flashlights, turn the end of it a little bit, it'll turn it on. Anything you want to communicate to us, we'd appreciate. Either one of those methods. So, why don't you communicate? Try to communicate through one of those devices now. Say hi, maybe, into the black box.
What was that?
Or knock on the wall.
Was it you, Ron?
No. I think it was him outside clapping, calling his dog.
Oh.
Because he was just whistling too.
Oh, okay.
You hear him?
Mm-hmm.
If you came up to this apartment at any time, why don't you tell us what your name is? Can you tell me what year it is? Did you get picked up in a bar and get brought out here? If that was you that made the sound of the light blink, you think you could do that again? How about one more time? Okay, that's good. There's that first light on that geophone's going off too. Which is weird.
Fascinating.
Okay, if you're here and you're trying to communicate with us, why don't you try one of the other devices? Why don't you try turning the flashlight on for me? Can you do that? All you have to do is go over to the flashlight and just turn it just a little bit. Wow. Can you make the blue lights light up again for me? So do you feel that maybe Herb brought you here and tricked you? Tricked you into coming out here? Are you angry about that? I'll take that as a yes. You know what I don't get about this sometimes though? It's real intense and it lights up, but it doesn't really beep.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the more it lights up, the more it beeps. I don't understand what the difference is between the two. I thought it was supposed to increase both ways. Okay, you did a really good job of lighting the blue lights up. Could you try lighting one of the flashlights up for me? It's real simple. Here, I'll show you how to do it. You guys just turn it on just a little bit. It's pretty easy. Turn it off. All you have to do is turn it on. Think you could try that for me? Really appreciate it. I know it takes energy, but I think you can do it. Okay, well, if nobody's got anything else to say, we're going to go ahead and close this out. I just want to say thank you if you did say anything into the black box with the red light on it.
So Rob, what's your theory about the door and the door knocker?
Doesn't seem like it takes very much to move it.
Wind.
Could even be
move it?
wind.
That's what I think it is. Wind picked up.
I mean, it really doesn't take much to move it at all.
The team managed to debunk the self-opening door to the pump room and the uneasy feeling in the apartment upstairs, and otherwise found minimal evidence of spiritual activity in the Fox Hollow mansion. We are very thankful to the Graves family for allowing us to come into their beautiful home to conduct our investigation. Thank you for watching this episode, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to see what we find next.